good morning. My name is Yolanda Marcela Binambuni, and with my co-author, Dr. Setio Prasianto Cahyono, SSMPD, I'm going to present to you my paper titled Valuation of Attitude Usage on Students' Review Writings, an Appraisal Perspective. First of all, I'm going to tell you about the research background. By the research background, interpersonal communication has a very pivotal role in academic environments, particularly in the appraisal process. It's the ability for students to tell their perspective through evaluative language. It is important to enhance pedagogical practices and curriculum development by understanding the complex interdependence between linguistic elements, cognitive skills, and also academic engagement. The researchers in this paper aim to interpret students' attitudes towards scholarly content by analyzing the students' evaluative language, that is, showing their stance through qualitative analysis and the application of the theoretical framework of Martin and White's appraisal theory. This research aimed to provide valuable insights into linguistics and education to eventually facilitate students' growth and their development as proficient appraisers. Next one is the method. What I'm going to use on this research is applying Martin and White's framework, especially from the year 2005, to understand how individuals can express their beliefs, opinion in discourse, particularly within students' review writings. And then the next one is by analyzing the linguistic cues using qualitative method. This is the observation that offer the insight into evaluative language by exploring the data, participant, perspectives, and behaviors in depth. Other than that, I'm also using purposive sampling. It ensures the accuracy of participants with diverse experiences relevant to the study's objective. So it's going to maximize the depth and also the diversity of collected data as accurate as possible. The next one is the result. I'm going to explain that under the attitude category, valuation emerged as the most prevalent subcategory with 72 items or 32.14%. It is followed by normality with 8 items or 3.57%. Interestingly, the inclination towards negative misery and propriety, as well as positive trust and interest, is relatively low, constituting only 1 item or 0.45%. This is a suggestion that students tend to express their positive feelings and perceptions of valuation more frequently than expressing negative affection or judgment and showing trust or interest. Within the affect subsystem, students dominantly express positive emotions towards the subject matter. Affection emerge as one of the most prevalent aspects with 8 items, indicating that students tend to convey feelings of fondness or liking towards the topics under review. And conversely, expressions of unhappiness are relatively rare with only 1 item, so it represents feelings of misery. This suggests that students generally perceive the article or the subject matter as positive and they're not likely to convey negative emotions in the evaluations. Security, satisfaction, and dissatisfaction also play a minor role in students' affective responses. They are comprised of less than 1% of the data. In the judgment subsystem, students evaluate the subject matter based on various criteria, such as normality, capacity, tenacity, and propriety. Normality and capacity emerge as the most dominant aspects, each representing 3.57% and 8.04% of the data, respectively. So this indicates that students tend to assess the subject matter based on its conformity to established norms and standards, as well as its capacity or capability. While tenacity and propriety, they are less prevalent, but they still contribute to the students' evaluative judgments, although to a lesser extent. So overall, students exhibit a tendency to critically evaluate the subject matter based on its perceived qualities and characteristics. Well, within the appreciation subsystem, this is the most prevalent subcategory. Students express their overall evaluation and perception of the subject matter. This dominant aspect and the dominant item within this subsystem is positive valuation. It represents a significant portion of 32.14%. This indicates that students overwhelmingly perceive the subject matter positively and assign value to it. Conversely, negative attitudes toward the subject matter are relatively rare, with only 2.68% of the data falling under that category. So this result suggests that students tend to exhibit favorable attitudes and appreciation towards the topics they're reviewing. It reflects a generally positive disposition in the evaluations. This is the discussion, the data. One of the data, the paper starts with a good introduction that explains why this study is important. I've bold the word good and important. So the appraising item is good and important, while the lexical items that are appraised as introduction and the study is fall under the appreciation reaction quality, because good means that the student like it. The quality is positive. The reaction of the quality of the introduction is good to the student. And then this study is important as positive evaluation, because it means that the students feel that the whole study comes together and it makes the whole process of reading the article to be very worthwhile. So in conclusion to all of this, the analysis of students' evaluation, it encompasses all three different subsystems within the appraisal system, capturing both positive and negative dimension. Out of total 224 appraising items, 22 items pertain to a fact, 32 items pertain to judgment, and a significant majority of 170 items to appreciation. So notably, appreciation emerged as the most prevalent subsystem observed in the study. The comprehensive breakdown presented in the table offered a detailed overview of the items identified in the subsystem. The findings obviously underscore the prevalence of positive attitudes among students towards the subject matter. It is evidenced by the substantial representation of positive appreciation items. While fact and judgment are also present, they constitute a smaller proportion compared to appreciation, but still overall positive. So this indicates a general inclination towards positive evaluation and appreciation among students. It suggests a favorable perception of the topics under review. Moreover, the presence of both positive and negative dimensions within the appraisal system reflects the students' approach to evaluating the subject matter. It encompasses the aspects of emotional response, critical judgment, and overall appreciation. That's all for my presentation. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope this presentation is insightful and it gives a new knowledge for the evaluation of education. See you next time.